Shane, you must have one of the most talked about horse on the circuit at the moment. Tell me a little bit about Clinton Jack, and also you bought him as a foal, and how you spotted the potential in him.
Well, we bought him off a local fella beside us at home, Jared Corey, and he bred him obviously, and we took him till Jared rang us to come up and see the foal. He said he was going to sell him, and we went up and seen him and bought the foal. But sure, as you know, at a foal they can turn out to be anything, and we took him and produced him, and so far the horse has done everything he's been asked of, and we didn't rush him as a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or even 4. He only done a handful of shows, but so far the horse has really produced it, and he's gone well.
When you have a horse with such potential, it's very important to produce them right. Did you take advice? Obviously you're experienced yourself, but how did you go about it?
Well, I suppose with a young horse, you always really know yourself if they're good enough, so you don't want to over jump them or do too much as a young horse. But I would take a bit of advice of Dermot Lennon. I know Dermot fairly well, and I suppose that's really where it's come from. But the horse he's jumped really anything he's been asked of him as a young horse, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, right up. The horse has done it, and you don't need to jump the legs off them when they are producing it,
Exactly. And you're being very modest. Tell me a little bit about his record so far.
Well, so far I was just looking actually last week. The horse has jumped on 70 shows from he was a 4-year-old, and he has jumped 60 double clears, and 10 out of the double clears that he hasn't jumped, he's had 4 faults, and the other 2 he's had 8 faults. So he's pretty impressive record, yeah, he has.
And you did qualify for Lanigan, but you just didn't get there.
Yeah, as a 5-year-old I was picked to go to Lanigan, and I hurt my hand and didn't get just the week before. So hopefully this year, the way he's going at the minute, he'll get picked to go. I would really like to get out there with him and see what he can do when he gets out to something abroad.
Shane, how have the results been so far this year?
Well, so far this year, his first show out was up in Kiernan's in Crossmaglen. It was a qualifier for Balmoral for the 6 and 7-year-olds, and he won that. And then he went to the first horseport class in Louth, and he was second the first day and second in the final the second day. We went then to Barnadown, and he won the first day there and was second the second day. And then we went to Cavan, and he jumped double clear the first day, and he won the second day in Cavan. And now here today, he's won again today. And in between that, we were in Balmoral as well for the final, and the horse was second in the final of 6 and 7-year-olds in Balmoral. So I suppose this year he's been very, very good and very consistent. I think that's the main part of the horse, because he's a stallion as well, and stallions tend to days they can have good days and bad days, but in the ring the horse is very, very consistent, and he always is. He always tries his best every day he goes in, so that's a bonus with him,
Yeah. And what will you do now leading up to Lanigan? How will you plan for that?
Well, I suppose he has to be picked first to go, so I'll do another few more horse sport classes, and I would like to qualify the horse for Dublin as well. There's still 2 more of them left, so that's really where he's at this stage,
You've a lot of interest in the horse, but you yourself, you're planning on continuing jumping him, enjoying him for the moment?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of the horse at the moment, definitely, and I have 3 little girls and a wife at home, so they love to come and see the horse jumping, and they I'm getting a lot of fun, and at this stage, no, the horse is not for sale, so I want to keep him on to the end of the year, and then sure we'll see what happens after that,
And you're no stranger to the show jumping circuit. Tell me, I know you had a European bronze medal, was it?
Well, in '98 I jumped a mare called Golden Options for Noel Good, a very good friend of mine as well. And I went to the Europeans in Portugal, and we got a team's bronze out there, and the horse jumped very well, and so it was a nice mare as well, and Noel actually is breeding of her at the moment. I went to the Europeans on ponies as well, had a few right good ponies as well, so yes, I've been there and done it, but
you had a bit of a break. You weren't well at some stage.
I had a few problems health-wise, yes, but thankfully they're sorted out now, I hope, and everything's going well. So so far so good.
And you must really love the sport. I know you don't do it full time. You've a career outside of this madness.
Yeah, well, I don't do it full time, no, and I don't intend to do it full time either. I just, when you have a nice horse like this, it's nice to be able to go to the big shows and compete. That you don't need to be running around the country everywhere. We do have a business at home, and you know that's my priority, obviously, and this comes a second to that. So. Yeah, it's nice to have something that, as I say, that you can go and jump with and compete.
And tell me a little bit more about Clinton Jack. Shane, does he have any brothers or sisters about?
There's one that he has. I think the mare, actually, his mother has had 6 or 7 foals, all colts. There's one was sold last year. Simon Buckley had him in England, and he was sold to America to Paul O'Shea. I don't know a lot more than that. I don't know what he has done or if he has went on to do anything else. And there is a few. There's Simon Buckley, I think, actually has another maybe 4 or 5 year old out of the horse, out of the mother as well at the moment by New Maruno. And after that, I don't really know if there's anything else, you know, or what the story is.
You're obviously inundated with calls as well, inquiring about stud duties. How is he available?
The horse is only available frozen semen only. I don't collect them fresh, and I have frozen semen again. The horse is not advertised. The semen's there. If anybody wants it, he's available, and we can give it, no problem at all. But I don't collect them fresh semen often, no.
It'll be very interesting to see how his progeny, you know, as 2 and 3 year olds. And do you have any foals from Clinton Jack?
Well, I have one of my own, and Gabriel Tunney has another one. My own foal was just born 2 days ago, and it's a lovely colt foal as well. And Gabriel has a lovely colt foal out of him too, so I suppose he's keeping up the mother's trend at this stage.
We'll all be chasing them down.
Well, hopefully, yeah.
Shane, thanks very much for having the chat with us.